The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 14 minutes after the hour, y'all. Family, if you don't absolutely love what you do, you make sure you go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today and become an information technology professional in as little as 4 months. That's mycomputercareer.edu. I'm so excited this morning. You know, we got the one and only one of the nation's mayors, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, shares what it's been like, you know, since the COVID-19, how it has affected her and her family, and all of the gun violence that has broken out all over the country. So I am so excited. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, Ricky. How are you, and how's your beautiful daughter doing?
Oh, thank you for asking. She's doing good. We're just gonna have to. The wound is healed, but it's the mental wound that just kind of really got her right now, and just keep reliving it. And it was just a horrifying experience for her. So, you know, just thank God that, you know, we're thankful to God, but we're more concerned about all of the people that lost kids over this past weekend. And just, I saw your press conference, and, you know, it's like, it was so heartfelt. And I just want to tell you that the nation really, really love and respect you, because, you know, you have really taken a leadership role. And, you know, you're just going through a whole lot, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and all of this stuff going on. How are you handling stuff?
Well, I mean, I'm still standing like everybody else. Life could be so much worse. You know, 3 of us in my house have tested positive for COVID, but I praise God, it has not been unto death. My husband is the only one who's experiencing real symptoms, the fatigue and, you know, all that goes along with that. But he's even getting better. But just as it relates to where we are in this city and across this country, you know, this is a challenging time in our country's history. And I look at it as us being in a valley right now. But, you know, we have to be in the valley sometimes for us to appreciate and get to the mountaintop. Yes. And even as I was waiting to come on with you, I was just writing some things down just about this balance that's happening across the country. And there are a couple of things at play, and I was reflecting on when I served as a magistrate judge. When people would come into court, I would say 99% of primarily the African-American men I would see didn't have a high school diploma. So when you don't have a high school diploma and you don't have a job and you don't have job training, you don't have hope. And when you don't have hope, you don't care about your life. And when you don't care about your life, you don't care about the lives of others. And I think that's what we're seeing playing out on our streets. So I think it's twofold, this immediate approach. We got to take responsibility for ourselves, meaning there are so many people who are just simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, like your daughter. There was nothing that she could have done to have been in a different place. But then there are others that, you know, you're gathering in and around situations that you can kind of see are getting volatile. You know, we're asking people, remove yourself from those situations to the extent that you can. Your daughter couldn't do it. These innocent children couldn't do it. So that's completely inexcusable. But the other part is dealing with these systemic issues on how do we restore hope in our communities. And it's going to take some real work from all of us.
All right, y'all, we're talking to Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. So excited to have her on. We're going to be talking to her more coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. We are on with the one and only Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. So excited to have you this morning. You know, I was just thinking, like, we are a family of 5, me and my kids, and 2 of us got shot in the community which we serve. And it's just so disheartening. You know, we're thankful to be alive, but you know, to have 2 people in one household to become gunshot victims, you know, it just kind of have you a little nervous and a little scared to do anything and go anywhere now.
No, it doesn't, and that's the other part of it, Ricky. I lost my nephew to gun violence. Somebody mistaken identity. They thought he was in a rival gang member. He wasn't in any gang. He was just visiting a friend, and they shot up his car. So, the other part of this, you talked about the physical trauma your daughter experienced, and then there's the mental trauma, and that's something we don't talk about a lot in the African American community. This post-traumatic stress syndrome is real in our community, and in the same way that people return from war, many of us are living in environments that are likened to being at war. So it creates anxiety, it creates depression, it creates despair, and then it repeats itself over and over and over again. I was chairing the platform committee for the Democratic National Convention, and we heard testimony from a young man who had been shot. He was on his way to play ball overseas, and he was able to piece together that the young man that shot him was a young man who had lost his eye being shot in some senseless shooting. And so then this young man turns around and shoots him, and he had started an organization to help people deal with that trauma. It is real and it is prevalent. And that's when I say there's so many underlying issues. It's not just somebody pulling up to a car, opening fire. It's
right.
All the trauma and all the stuff before that.
Do you think there should be more stricter gun laws? And what are your thoughts on Georgia Governor Kemp sending in the National Guard?
What's interesting to me about this whole discussion with the National Guard in Georgia is an open carry state. And so people are complaining about young black men walking down the street carrying long rifles and handguns. Well, guess what? They can, because the law in Georgia allows them to do that. So you don't get to say it's okay for the militia to do it and then complain when these young black men are doing it. But they both scare me. Anybody walking around with a long gun or an open handgun frightens me. I understand that people like to go hunting and they like to do those things. That's a different conversation. But when you allow anybody, I don't care who they are, to walk down street with handguns and with rifles, then you've got to assume that somebody's going to fire one on the other side of it.
Right.
So what I want Governor Kemp to do, you're sending in the National Guard talking about we can't control our city. How about you help us control this open carry law? How about you help us with some of this COVID testing and some of this job training and the things that we actually do need help with?
Yes.
Right, and help us stop stealing elections and make it fair for everybody to vote. I am so excited to have you on, and thank you for coming on with us. Let everybody know how you can be reached, and how can they follow you on social media for their support behind you to have Joe Biden put you on that ticket, because we would love if you were the vice president.
Oh, I as my mama says, thank you for the rumor, so I appreciate it. But you can follow me at Keisha Bottoms, KEISHA BOTTOMS. Thank you for asking.
And your mama say what now?
She says, so thank you for the rumor.
Hey, Sarah, I love you.
Love you too, and keeping y'all in my prayers.
There it is, y'all.
Doing the same.
That's right, the one and only Atlanta Mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.